MSI gets a lot of attention when it comes to AMD motherboards in general. While they've had their fair share of success on Intel platforms, the success of something like the Tomahawk for them is unprecedented. Now, while the Micro ATX Mortar Max is no Tomahawk by any means, it is quite a good consideration for people who need a compact motherboard. While most MATX boards often come with their downsides, MSI made sure to alleviate some of the common problems here. MSI makes several different versions of the board. This includes the B450M Mortar, Mortar Max, and Mortar Titanium. The Titanium is the best looking one out of them all, but the Mortar Max is the most well-rounded. There's a Wi-Fi version of this board out there too. There's a lot of competition in the world of Micro ATX B450 boards. The Gigabyte B450 Aorus M and ASRock B450M Pro 4 come to mind, and the ASRock B450 Steel Legend we talk about below is also a good pick. While the Steel Legend has a better design, the value of the B450 Mortar Max is hard to argue with. Now, this compact motherboard is not going to be a great fit for higher-end processors such as the 3900X. Pairing this with something like a 5900X would be even more ridiculous, but that's not what this motherboard is aiming at in the first place. This is a cheap and reliable MATX motherboard that's going to perform well years down the line. Pair it with something like a Ryzen 5 3600 or even a 5600X, and you'll have a reliable gaming setup for years down the line. Moving on, the design here might not be as special as something like the Asus Strix motherboard, but it looks decent all things considered. It has a more understated look, but the giant rear panel cover and RGB zone on the right give it an interesting look. The RGB lighting is controllable via MSI Mystic Light software. Furthermore, the board does feature two RGB headers, so you should be set in terms of lighting for your build. MSI claims that this board has support for 128 gigabytes of RAM, which is quite astounding for a cheap MATX motherboard. The VRM configuration is quite reliable too, and the memory clock holds up well. All in all, this board is great for people looking for a fully featured Micro ATX motherboard. To sum up what we like is the excellent functionality for an MATX board. The design looks quite good, BIOS flash support, and the dual M2 slots. On the downside, it's relatively expensive and unintuitive BIOS. Our rating for VRM design is 9 out of 10, aesthetics 7 out of 10, connectivity 9 out of 10, value for money 9 out of 10, for an overall rating of 8.5 out of 10. So what do you think? Do you like this motherboard? Check another video where we review the 3 best B450 motherboards and see if any of these is a better option for you. Tell us in the comments what you think, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Have an awesome day.